ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Now, the show you've been all waiting for. Mr. 702 from Las Vegas is going to speak to you.
And it's happened again. This is the most saddest day ever. Uh, Again, it's happening and again in a rapid speed. Shootings in our schools. This is uncalled for. 18 children dead, 3 teachers dead in Texas by an 18-year-old high school student. How could this be happening? How are we allowing these things to happen without seeing all the signs? Where were the kid's parents? How could this kid get a hold of an AR-15, get a hold of tactical clothing, and go out and commit this most heinous crime of taking lives, especially babies, out of an elementary school? What was this person thinking? An 18-year-old high school kid takes the lives of all these poor, innocent children. It truly is a sad day in America today. There was a time where we were leading nations, where we were people that people looked up to. And now this is going on in America more frequency and more frequent than we like to see. But yet it is happening. And it's happening in our communities. I'm outraged at what I've seen. Wow. This is truly a sad story. This all happened yesterday at 11:30 a.m. in an elementary school in Texas, and really, it's a sad story to really report on because, you know, what can you ask these parents? What can they say of what just happened? Words can't describe what just happened. We saw parents running towards the school. We saw parents that are desperate to see if their young ones are victims of death. This is something that's happening, and it's not. It's something that's happening so rapidly. I mean, we have 27 school shootings in 2022, over 140 deaths of mass shootings this year alone. Wow. Why are we missing these signs? What's going on? If these kids are talking on social media and they're showing their weapons and they're saying tomorrow, we're going to see what's going to happen tomorrow, what the heck are we waiting for? Why are these social media platforms shooting up red flags, telling authorities, warning them something might be happening? Let's send a squad car and check up on this kid. Let's see what he's about. What kind of signs can we see? But yet we do nothing. We wait for this. This kid shot his grandmother, then jumped in a car and had a shooting with police. Dumped his car, then ran to the school and shot 18 children and 3 teachers that are dead, plus 2 police officers that are injured. 18-year-old kid. This is incredible, and this is happening everywhere. You remember the case here in Las Vegas not too long ago of a kid raping and almost killing a teacher and leaving her to die inside a custodian's closet. How far does this have to go? The signs are there, but we're not listening. The signs are there, but no flags are going up. But yet we say that we are on top of this problem. But yet we're not. We have no control over this problem. This problem is like an epidemic. Is it truly our video games that are so corrupted and disgusting and showing our young ones of death and going into a supermarket and killing people? Is this where we're all going? Is this where the world is headed? Violence? What are we teaching our kids? To stay out of our way because we got bigger things to do? Like pay the bills? Buy things that we really can't afford, but we want to have them because our neighbor has them? How far do we have to take this? Our children are dying. Parents are scared to send their children to school because they might not be coming back. How do you say goodbye to your young one and not know if he's coming back? That's something you can't answer. It's something every parent should ask themselves. What is the society coming to? Where is the world headed to? Is it safe to have a child in America anymore? Are we safe? What are we doing about it? How do we change it? There were signs, but nobody listened. It's 19 weeks into the year, and America has already seen 198 massive shootings. We're talking supermarkets, not safe anymore. Going to church, not safe anymore. What kind of world are we living in? It's imaginary to even imagine something like this going on in America. The land of the free, the home of the brave. But yet, look what's going on. We're losing control of society. Our children are the ones suffering. Notice the patterns that are going on. These are happening in our high schools, in our elementary. Students killing students. Is that the society we're bringing up in America? Is that what we represent as Americans? It truly is a sad day in America again today. Because the unimaginable is happening as we speak. Are we having copycats? Are we having just kids trying to be something that they're really not, that they've created in their own minds? How could we not pick up the signs? What is it going to take? We just heard in that story today that that child was already posting things up in social media. That child said, tomorrow is the day. But yet no red flags. No, just a call from the social media. Hey, listen, I think you guys should be aware of this, you know. We have this. Here's a copy. I think you should pay them a visit. Wow. Conscience clean. Now you passed it off to law enforcement. Let law enforcement now deal with it. Go by the kid's house. It's a small town. I'm sure they got the time. But yet, we did nothing. Nothing. And now this small town in Texas has to suffer the death of 21 children. Babies. Babies. It's amazing. It's amazing. Let's go to a commercial and we'll be right back. I'm Mr. 702 and I want to remind you all to subscribe to my website, Mr702.com, or you can check me out on all my social outlets at Facebook, Instagram, and of course, TikTok. Hey everyone, I want to invite you all to listen to my show, Talking with Mr. 702, every day from Monday to Friday. Don't miss it. We got a lot of hot topics of everything that's happening in Las Vegas and around the world. Don't miss it. Listen to me on Spotify, podcasts, GuidoTV.com, and all my other social media outlets. Thank you. And we're back. back. And before anything, I really, this is an amazing story. We're still getting press releases in. It's now said that the grandmother that this kid had allegedly shot and killed before the shooting in the school is not actually dead. She's in critical condition in a Texas hospital where they're treating her right now. But she is in critical condition. She is not dead. The grandmother of this shooter, 18-year-old high school student shooter, that allegedly tried to kill his grandmother first, couldn't kill her. She's still living, and then had the shootout, and then this tragic shooting in this elementary school where all these people died. And it truly is a sad story, and we have stories like that happening all over the United States. We have that shooting also at the supermarket where this another 18-year-old kid went out, started shooting innocent people for no reason at all. And it's still so hard for me to comprehend or understand. I know just like you guys were listening to the stories and you're like, wow, how could this really happen? But it really is happening. And, you know, we could talk about it all day of what's causing it or why are these kids having this mental break. Because you can't call it anything else. You're talking about an 18-year-old that really hasn't even lived yet, hasn't experienced life, to have all this hatred, to have all this. Where are they learning it? We have to open our eyes, take the blinders off to the world. I mean, this is not something that's just happening in La La Land. This is really happening in our own homes. We're so freaking busy worrying about our bills and our cars and the things that we want that we really don't need, but we want them anyways because we want to be better. And we're losing sight of the real important things in life. We're losing sight of our kids and the signs they can be showing of depression, of other things that are going on right behind closed doors, that you're allowing them to have this freedom of their own privacy, but yet in that own privacy, they're doing things, not necessarily drugs, but they can be on that computer and surfing the web and learning things that they don't comprehend or don't understand yet, but they find it fascinating because all these video games are just showing destruction and killing, and all these movie and picture pictures are just showing destruction and killing because that's what folks like. That's what they like. When I used to work the TV, we started a thing called the Night Team. It became Cops, and the show went, you saw, network. Cops was one of the #1 shows because Americans like violence. America likes violence. You get entertained. What happens with all this violence? After a while, this violence gets into your home. Your kids are watching it with you. They're not understanding it's just entertainment, that this is something that's really going on, but it's not everywhere. It's not chaos as soon as you walk out the door. We have to show that there is peace, that there is law and order, that there is rules and regulations that we have to follow as Americans, as human beings. We set the zone. We set the examples. But if we're so busy that we don't have time for our kids, then that's a big problem. We have a big problem. We have no communication between adults, parents, and their young ones. We've seen it day by day. We have Hispanic parents that can't speak to their American child because the American child doesn't know Spanish. Now you tell me what kind of communication comes with that. We cannot continue to be like this. We have to open our eyes, expand our horizons, and have time for our children to sit down, to go through their closets, to see what they're up to go through their drawers. Hey, they don't have rights. They're your kids. You pay for their stuff. You pay the rent. We have to get more involved because this kid having an AR-15, having this, I mean, wow, this kid had a whole bunch of magazines. This kid was preparing for a war and nobody knew it. This is the signs that we have to look for. We have to see what our kids are doing. We have to get more involved, going through their stuff, check their stuff like our moms did to us. I mean, the old days were a little bit tougher because people were tougher with kids. They expected more from us. Nowadays, our kids are very disrespectful. They don't respect adults. We see that every day. You can lie to yourself if you want to, but the truth remains. That is what's going on. We're losing the respect that was taught to us to be enforced on our kids. Like how to hold a door for someone that's right behind you. Like saying please and thank you. Like being polite. Like being respectable. We've lost that. We're not teaching them that. That's not what we're teaching our kids. We expect the teachers to teach our kids, to make them grow up, to teach them how to be adults. And that's not their job. Their job is to teach them education. You treat them with respect. That's your teaching. Because that's the respect that you should have in your homes. And that's the respect that we should show our kids to have for one another. To show the values of love instead of hatred. It's a sad day in America today. It really is. Let's go to another commercial break and we'll be right back.
Hey everyone, I want to invite you to listen in to my podcast every day from Monday through Friday. We got hot topics that we're going to be discussing and talking about from here in Las Vegas and around the world. You don't want to miss this podcast because it's going to be burning hot with these topics. Don't miss it from Monday to Friday, talking to Mr. 702. I'm Mr. 702 and I want to remind you all to subscribe to my website, Mr.702.com, or you can check me out on all my social outlets at Facebook, Instagram, and of course, TikTok.
And we're back. Like I told you, this story is so fresh. This story is just happening right now. It's breaking as we speak. Right now, we just had another count. There was a mistake on the count. They had said 18 children and 3 teachers. Now we have an update. We have an update of 19 children and 2 teachers. So there was a little mix up there, but they have 19 children and 3 teachers that have died in Texas in a Hispanic community by an 18-year-old boy from high school. Really a sad, sad situation today. And it keeps on happening and happening. We have shootings happening all the time now. It's so incredible, it's so weird. There were 614 mass shootings in 2020, resulting in 446 deaths. As of December 2021, we have 693 mass shootings, leaving 703 people dead. Wow. It's time to see the signs. Please. We cannot allow our children to turn into these, I don't know what to call it, because they haven't had the opportunity to be adults or men. They're picking up these habits, and we have to see the signs. I mean, there's only one place. If their parents aren't teaching them to be killers, then internet is. So what are we doing? Can't we control this problem? Can't we control the internet? Is it uncontrollable? We're going to have something. We keep on blaming guns and guns and guns, but guns don't kill people. People kill people. I don't care what age you are. That's why there has to be some kind of discipline. There has to be some kind of control in our homes. You can now walk into your kid's room and see your kid shooting an Uzi on a supermarket or in a post office or in a school. Those kind of games, I mean, they should be automatic red flags. You know, if your kid tells you, hey, dad, hey, mom, can you buy me this video game? And you're like, oh, let me see what it's about, son. Well, it's going into a school and shooting people. Well, hell no, son, you can't get it. I ain't buying you that crap. What are we doing? Oh, yeah, son, that sounds like a good idea. Here you go, buy the video game. You know what, son? I'm going to buy you an AR-15 because you deserve it. But yet you didn't pick up on the sign the kid's been playing video games how to kill people in school. You just bought him the weapon. Come on, man. Come on. Are we going to sit here and be ignorant? Or are we going to take the blinders off and actually talk about things that really matter? This is happening in our community. This is not a third world country. This is America. And in America, high school kids are killing children. Kids killing kids. Is it time? Is it time to do something? Instead of just blah, 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 blah. The lobbyists, the gun controls, the president. It's always the same yang, yang, yang. It's boring. It's boring. Stop talking. Take action. It's time to take action. It's not such a hard thing to do. We control everything. Don't lie to the public. We control everything. We could damn sure control the internet. The internet is the poison of our children. The internet is the poison in the air. The internet is the poison that's killing us all. It's time to make a difference. It all has to start in our own home. There has to be a way to control the internet in our own homes. Let's fight to make that happen. I want to give a minute of silence for these angels that lost their lives, because let's just take a moment of silence. Let them rise above and look after all of us as angels in the sky. And of course, if you see signs on your kid or you want to report something, there is a hotline that you can text or call. The telephone number is 1-855-484-2846. That number again is 1-855-484-2846. That is a hotline that you can text or call if you're having any doubts, any feelings, or if you're a parent and you're concerned. It's time to speak up and look for that help. Don't be a victim. God bless us all, protect us all. Remember, learn to live life. Don't live life.
Hey everyone, I want to invite you to listen in to my podcast every day from Monday through Friday. We got hot topics that we're going to be discussing and talking about from here in Las Vegas and around the world. You don't want to miss this podcast because it's going to be burning hot with these topics. Don't miss it. From Monday to Friday, talking to Mr. 702. I'm Mr. 702, and I want to remind you all to subscribe to my website, Mr702.com, or you can check me out on all my social outlets at Facebook, Instagram, and, of course, TikTok.